Hello there guys and welcome to another race here in Elite Racing League here in Singapore for round number I don't remember which round. I think it's 14, the penultimate round of the 9th season of this league. And yeah, we are in Singapore and hope we can make a good result. This might be my last race in this season, despite one race remaining. But on that day, it'll be on Tuesday, and maybe THR Ragnaroks would be on that day. So yeah, I doubt I'll participate in that race, but hope I can. Meanwhile, we are in a Haas. As you know, I'm now a full-time driver since like mid-season, and Tamal won't be participating in this race, so this means that I can have more chances to win the race. So maybe we can win this race. And remember, in this season we are dead to win a race, so yeah, we need to do these good results in order to maintain that strike alive. Although I wasn't remembering that if I didn't win that race and not even Abu Dhabi, I might have this season could be my first winless season in this league, and yeah, I want this thing to happen. So we are on our out lap, and hope we can make a decent lap time. Alright, so we were now on our first flying lap, and we are about to finish that lap, and we're seeing that many drivers are setting fast lap times. Toscano for now has provisional pole, but we're about to cross the line with a 137.018, which puts us into provisional pole. And we're seeing that Toscano, despite setting a slower lap time than myself, he set the lap time on mediums. I was just a little bit fearing that he could be extremely fast in this circuit, because he set just like a tenth slower than myself with medium tires, so he could be like 2 or 3 tenths faster than me, maybe 4, but let's see. Meanwhile, let's just get into the garage and the second flying lap. As I just set the balance set of tire location, I was in my mind about to choose the softer sets of tire location, but I decided at the last second go with the balanced ones. And well, as you could see, I was just trying to overtake Kludak, although it wasn't worth it. Although I didn't ruin his lap, because we were both in our in lap and we have already done our lap. So yeah. I was just going to say that in qualifying, I'm just using 2 tires, 2 soft tires out of 3 soft tires I have. I'm saving 1 for the race, and I'm just going to use the first 2 laps with 1 same soft tire. So the second lap will be just a practice lap time for the third and final one. And meanwhile, we are now entering the garage, so see ya guys in the second flying lap. Alright, so on our second flying lap, it's going a little bit decently, just obviously slower because we're on our used softs, and we are entering into turn 13, and unfortunately I've locked my rear brakes. I braked too violently, and that meant that I got a lot of oversteer to the right, and I just got into the wall and damaged significantly my front wing, and I just went wide into turn 14, I think. Turn 14, and at least I wasn't in a proper flying lap, and as you can see, I'm still in provisional pole. Maybe we have to wait just a few minutes to see if Toscano can set a better lap time than me, because I'm seeing that he's now in soft, so that could mean that he is on a flying lap, but well, let's see. Meanwhile, we are entering the pit lane, and yeah, just gone wide, and yeah, it was yeah, that is a little bit suspicious, but as long they don't report me, everything is fine. And we're seeing that Jolton and Darking, both of these drivers, retired from the session. Yeah, that's just a little bit frustrating for them, although yeah, that isn't my topic, so yeah, let's just yeah, we're waiting for the mechanics to put me in the garage. I think my teammate recently left the garage, and that's why they took a little bit more time than usual, the mechanics, to just start and put me in the garage. So we are about to begin my out lap for my final flying lap with new softs and with a lot of focus. We're seeing that Toscano still hasn't set a lap time with those soft tires, and well, hope we can make a good lap time in that final one. Okay, so we are about to begin our final flying lap, and unfortunately I might deal with a lot of dirty air because Sandia is right in front of me, and I wasn't going to back out a little bit because yeah, I just began my flying lap just like 6 seconds before qualifying ended, and as you can see, entering turn 4, I'm now losing 600ths of a second, and now entering exiting turn 5, I'm now losing 13 hundredths of a second, and yeah, these are just still going. As you can see, I'm still in pole, although I'm just thinking that that might not last for a few seconds. Maybe someone will set a faster lap time, and as you can see, I was about to enter turns 11 and 12. Well, I'm now gaining a little bit of time, but it was just temporarily until I was back into losing 1.3 tenths of a second, and now we are entering turn 14, and we are seeing that we are not improving, and instead we are losing a little bit of time, although that exit was a little bit better, and now we are losing overall like 800ths of a second, but I just went right into turn 16, and I just got this enough of oversteer exiting turn 17, so I decided to just enter the pit lane and not to finish my lap time. In reality, I wasn't needing to complete my lap time. I wasn't even needed to do that lap time, because even though we didn't improve our lap time, we still got pole. We just, that first flying lap, that was enough for pole position. So yeah, my first pole position of this season, which was quite a little bit unusual for me. I was expecting that someone set a faster lap time than me, but that wasn't the case. And yeah, that was the first time I got pole position since Elite League Racing Cup Season 5 in Sandport. Although I got pole later on in Season 7, but it wasn't counted because nobody was entering the races, and then later on the season got reset, and I didn't take part on that reset season. Meanwhile, here is the qualifying positions. I got pole position, followed by Toscano, and Jolton finished 3rd position. Darkin finished 4th in qualifying, Jovan qualified 5th, Gludak in 6th, Untalkit qualified 7th, Memekes in 8th, and well, I just decided to just go into the race. And well, I hope you have paused the video just to see the qualifying results. Unfortunately, we haven't shown you the other drivers that were behind the top 14, although that might not be that relevant, so let's just get into the pre-race strategy. So here is the pre-race strategy. Well, I decided to just go with the default strategy, which is a hard medium strategy. I was in one point deciding to go with the alternative medium soft strategy, which was just 3 seconds lower than the default one. I decided to just stick with that default strategy, not risk it at all, because yeah, you know, yeah, it can cost you 3 seconds, and I decided to just go with the default strategy. I don't know how to explain with that. And meanwhile, with the car setup changes, we decided to not do anything. Well, in this game, we aren't doing car setup changes because the only car setup changes I did back in F1 22 was just to change the tire pressure in some cases. Maybe I just already lowered the tire pressure down to the lowest point in qualifying, so yeah, the car setup isn't going to be changed, so I gotta not mention about the car setup. So just in case I have changed my car setup, I won't mention that. So yeah, I won't mention about the car setup because it'll be always that no car setup changes for the race. So yeah. Meanwhile, in terms of fuel, we lowered down to 55 kilograms, just about into the underfuel zone. I decided to not risk it at all, and I decided to just go a little bit aggressive because I need to maintain my lead of a race. And yeah, that might be that there's no safety car, so there's no way I could conserve my fuel and doing the safety car. So let's now head into the race. Alright, so we are waiting for the other players to get prepared for the race to get started. Now we are about to start this race, and the 5 red lights are about to be turned on. Now they have turned on and the lights are off, and we are on the way for the race. I got a decent getaway, decent enough to maintain my little race into turn 1, and I'm still leading the race. And we're seeing that Jolton and Toscano are trying to battle for second place, and we're seeing that there was still a little bit of fight. Maybe there's still fight, and we're seeing that Giovanni is up into second place. And well, that means that there could be an intense battle for second place. Maybe they'll try to be smart and decide to not fight and just go into conservative, and maybe just try to just catch me in terms of tire wear, and maybe I can just get into some difficult situations, maybe struggling with those tires, while the others have managed enough that they aren't struggling with those tires, and maybe they could overtake me and fall down the order. Maybe not, but we're seeing that we are beginning sector 3, I think, and now the gap between myself and Jovan, who is in second, is now 8/10 of a second. Well, between it, now it's 7/10, but we're seeing that Toscano, which is in third place, is 1.2 seconds behind me. So that means that I can get a little bit calm down. I got the warning. I went wide into turn 22, set the fastest lap at the end of lap 1, and we're seeing that Jovan spun and isn't anymore into the top 5, and that means that Toscano is second place. So it is a 1-2-3 for THR. It's a podium lockout. So well, that'll be a good day for our team. Unfortunately for me, we think that Toscano is catching me and maybe he could overtake me. Despite that, I set the fastest sector 1, but well, let's see if we can maintain the lead of the race for at least a few laps. Meanwhile, on the same lap, but in this time finishing this lap, we're getting into turn 20, but the virtual safety car got deployed, and that meant that the racing has been stopped for a few seconds, maybe a minute, but I don't know what was the reason why the virtual safety car got deployed. I don't know, but we're seeing that we began lap 3, and we're seeing that Toscano is now between 0.6 and 1 second behind me. So, well, or 1, it could mean that either Toscano might be sandbagging, or maybe I'm a little bit fast and I could have chances to win the race. But well, let's see. It's already just beginning the race, so a lot of things can happen in this race. And meanwhile, we're just waiting for the virtual safety car to end. And as you can see, no one has retired from the race, so I don't know what was the cause to deploy the virtual safety car, but well, we're just waiting for the virtual safety car to end, but it is now happening right now, and well, we're just respecting the delta time, and the virtual safety car has now ended, and we are exiting turn 13, and we are seeing that the gap between Toscano and myself is now 1.2 seconds, now 1.3 seconds. So that means that I could have done a good relaunch. Maybe I did that greatly, and well, hope we can control that race and maintain the lead for a while. Maybe I can maintain that thing for the rest of the race and maybe win the race. But well, let's see. Well, we are now in lap 5. And we are seeing that Godley is out of the race and the safety car got deployed, and it is because of Godley's retirement from the race. And well, I decided to just stay out because it's just too soon to box for mediums, 9 laps too soon, and that would be a terrible idea to box for mediums unless I decided to just change the strategy to a medium strategy for the rest of the race instead of just staying out in the mediums for the rest of the race. But that might be a little bit risky, and I think almost all of them, maybe all of them, will stay out. So yeah, I don't want to take that risk, and we are about to end lap 5 with the safety car deployed, and we're seeing that Untalkid and Jolton both have 3-second time penalties. So yeah, that means that if they overtake me, they need to be 3 seconds ahead of me in order to make me lose the race lead. Meanwhile, I'm just catching the safety car, and this time I am paying attention in which position the safety car is going to be. I have learned from my mistakes from Miami. Remember that in that race the safety car got deployed and I was leading the race and I was going to the safety car, but I didn't pay attention. I was paying attention with the MFD, with the strategy change, and then I just look at the screen and I was seeing the safety car right in front of me and I couldn't avoid it and crashed into it and DNF. That is the most ridiculous DNF I ever had in league racing. Even more embarrassing than crashing into the wall during the safety car. That is more embarrassing, crashing into the safety car. Meanwhile, we are seeing that Jolton and my teammate Zodiac both have gone into the pits. So I don't know why, but Maybe they had buffs for a new front wing. Well, I think for the case of my teammate Zodiac, I think for Jotun, maybe he has boxed 4 hearts. Well, maybe I might be wrong because I didn't pay attention in which tires was he going before entering the pit lane. I think he was in mediums. That was the reason I just said that he might box 4 hearts. So yeah, I might check out later on. But we are now into the safety car, and we're seeing that the field is bunching up, and I am heating up the tires, and I'm just waiting for the safety car to end so I can get a good relaunch and maintain my lead of the race. And the wait for the safety car to end is going to happen at the end of lap 7. We are now about to end the safety car. We are controlling the field, and we are about to control the safety car and hope I could get a good relaunch. Unfortunately, it wasn't good enough to still maintaining the lead of the race, although I could maintain it. I was referring that I wasn't having a good relaunch in order to just still be comfortably at the lead of the race, but we're seeing that Untarkid was about to overtake me into turn 1, but decided to just back off a little bit. I decided to give him a little bit of space, but I think it wasn't enough to just go for it. And we are seeing that despite having a 3-second time penalty, he might overtake me and, well, pull a 3+ second gap ahead of me and made me lose the race lead. So I must be a little bit defensive, but still not too aggressive with the defensive, or else I could get reported by the other drivers for just unsportsmanlike behavior, like for example just blocking unfairly. And we are into turn 13. He overtook me and I decided to just do a switchback, but I did it unsuccessfully. So yeah, I'm down to P2, but still in the lead of the race, because just remember, Untaki has a 3-second time penalty, so he needs to be more than 3 seconds ahead of me in order to make me lose the first place. Something that he might do that thing maybe like lap 12. Alright, so we are now in lap 11, and we're seeing that Untalkit is about to be more than 3 seconds ahead of me, and unfortunately I just got a bad exit into turn 3, and unfortunately Jordan overtook me. I decided to let him pass, and I decided to just plan to re-overtake him into this straight. Unfortunately, I got turn 5 too badly that I couldn't be into the overtake gap, and I just went out of straight, and unfortunately I just dropped down to 3rd place. And despite Untalkit being more than 3 seconds ahead of me, I'm still leading the race because he has now another 3-second time penalty. Now he has 6 seconds of penalties accumulated, and Dalton also has a 3-second time penalty, as I said earlier. I think so, but that means that I'm still leading the race, but still I have to go a little bit fast, although I'm seeing that I'm going too aggressive with the hard tires, because look at the temperature. It's like 108 degrees Celsius and one tire is at 110, so that means that I am overusing the tires and I need to calm down a little bit. Maybe that will make me faster, although in reality that will make me a little bit slower. Well, I have to slow down a little bit, but at least that should mean that I'll have a little bit of less tire wear, and thus making the tires be on more laps with optimal pace, and not like getting into lap 16 and the tires are like at 70% and you're very slow because the tires are very worn out. No, I don't want this thing to happen. Although maybe in that lap I might have gone into the pits to change tires, so I don't think that will happen in this stint. So yeah, we are unfortunately going a little bit slower than these two drivers. Maybe they are faster than me race wise. I think I am faster than these two drivers in just one lap in qualifying, although they might have practice with those tires, or maybe they have been adapting more with those tires than me. So yeah, that's just a little bit unfortunate, although I'm still leading the race. And yeah, as you can see, I'm just dealing with a little bit of my micro rear brake locks, but still I'm just controlling a little bit and hope I don't get a violent one. Now we are in lap 15, exiting turn 13, and we're seeing that I'm officially lost the race lead. I'm down to B3. These drivers have now jumped their penalties, and we are heading into turn 16, and we're seeing that unfortunately I just lost violently my rear brakes, and I just got into a wall, and that is just painful. And I just got down to 6th place, and that is just terrible. I think I just lost like 6 seconds, maybe 8, but that is just a terrible thing. And yeah, we are seeing that Giovanni's getting into the pits, and well, I just saw that he was like 6 seconds ahead of me, so that means that I lost 6 seconds by that violent rear lock. Now it is the in lap. In this lap, at the end of this one, I'll box for medium tires. We are halfway through the race, and yeah, that is just painful. Despite me being in P5, the reason why I'm in P5 is because Jovan got into the pits, so yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's just a terrible thing, and yeah, that ruined my race. That's just terrible. And now we are in lap 19. Almost nothing happened between these laps. We have already ended the pit laps. I boxed for mediums, and the other drivers boxed as well, and we're up into P5. We jumped Gludak. He boxed for mediums, but he dropped to P6 behind me, and we're seeing that Target is struggling, and we're seeing that he overtook Darking, and he's up into P2, and he also got the fastest lap on Target, and we're seeing that Jovan is 7.1 seconds ahead of me in P4. That is just pretty bad for me. And we're seeing that the virtual safety car got deployed, and Jordan retired from the race. And yeah, that is just a little bit surprising for me that he retired from the race. And we're seeing that Darking is yet to pit, and so he has the chance to pit for hard tires, and we're seeing that Darking stayed out. That was unexpected for me. We're up into P4, but damn, I didn't expect Darking to stay out, and he retired from the race. Oh, okay, so that means that we're up into P3, and the virtual safety car ended, and that means that I'm back into the podium, and we're seeing that Untarkit has 6 seconds of penalties accumulated still, so he hasn't got another 3 second penalty since like lap 11, I think. Yeah. And we're seeing that the gap between Jovan and myself got down to 6.3 seconds. And well, unfortunately, in order to make me win the race, I need to be driving really fast and overtake Jovan, and also pray that Untarkit gets another multiple 3 second time penalties, because look at the gap between himself and myself. He is 13.8 seconds ahead of me. And yeah, that's just going to be a hard task, maybe an impossible one, but well, maybe time will tell. So let's just go around the track without committing a lot of mistakes. Remember, we have to be a little bit careful with the track limits, because I got a second warning in lap 4, so that means that if I get another warning, that'll be the third one, and thus I'll get a 3-second time penalty. And we're seeing that Untarget got another 3-second time penalty, so that means that he's now got 9 seconds of penalties accumulated. So with the penalties applying, he is now 5.7 seconds behind. Well, I am 5.7 seconds behind him. He is 5.7 seconds ahead of me, and with the penalties applied. So we are just a little bit more than 10 laps to go, and a lot of things can happen, or maybe not. Meanwhile, we're just driving a little bit consistently, but yeah, we're in the middle of nothing, and hope we can approach Jovan, and maybe we can get up into P2 or maybe into the race win. Then 2 laps later, we're seeing that Untarget got a 12-second time penalty, and we're seeing that he has stopped and he's down to second place. And what has happened to him? I think he's crashed into the wall and damaged his front wing, and we're seeing that he is right ahead of me. We're seeing that Untarget retired from the race, and that deployed the virtual safety car. And well, he didn't get the 12-second time penalty. He had 12 seconds of penalties accumulated. Yeah, sorry for saying that thing in a wrong manner. And yeah, we are up into second place. Unfortunately, the gap between Jovan and myself got increased a little bit. It was, well, not increased, it was just still. It isn't predictable how is the gap during the virtual safety car. May increase, it may decrease after the virtual safety car, but well, let's see after the virtual safety car ends. And well, when the virtual safety car ended, we're seeing that the gap is now 6.7 seconds, now 6.5, now 6.4, although it'll maintain like that in just a few laps, but yeah, it's just slightly decreasing the gap between Jovan and myself, and well, hope I can get a little bit faster and catch him and maybe overtake for the race lead, although that might not happen. But well, if he gets a report and maybe gets a penalty, why not catch him and be in a reasonable gap in order to just be close enough when they just penalize, just in case he's got into a crash, he provoked it, he was guilty and reported to another driver, and thus maybe get penalized with a few seconds time penalties, because he's yet to receive a 3-second time penalties. He as well as me did not get too many track limit warnings, and well, if I finish, like for example, less than 3 seconds ahead of him and gets a 3-second time penalty, I could get the race win. So let's just catch him. Well, nothing happened between those laps, so we just got straight into the final lap of the race, and unfortunately I couldn't catch him enough to overtake him and get into the race lead, but at least I just got into a decent gap that if he gets penalized, I could get promoted to first place, and through that got the fastest lap of the race. And now the gap between Jovan and myself is now 2.1 seconds. It was slightly decreasing in a few laps. It was now like just a bit more than 4 seconds until like lap 29, when it just got drastically dropped down to less than 2 seconds now, and that means that I can have slight chances to overtake him, although I think this is not going to happen. But well, let's see. I think he's struggling with the hard tires. I think he's struggling with the tire because he boxed like lap 15, although he was now struggling with those tires now in this lap, and we are heading into the last corners, about to cross the line, and we are seeing that the gap is still 1.7 seconds, now 1.6 seconds, and we're heading into the last corners, and we are seeing that Jovan crosses the line to win the Singapore race. I finished second, just 1.4 seconds behind him. Yeah, I was a bit disappointed because I couldn't get the race win. If I didn't get that violent rear lock, I could have won the race. I could crossed the line in third place, and yeah, that is just a little bit disappointing. That might be my first winless season on Elite Racing League, although let's see what's going to happen in Abu Dhabi. Maybe I can participate in that race, although yeah, that is just a little bit disappointing for me, although I can get the win because Toscano on the next day reported because he got into a crash that felt that Jovan was the one who to blame, and well, he sent to the league owner. So let's see if we can get him the penalty and I can get promoted to the race win. Well, hope it doesn't get dismissed, and well, that is it. That is the Singapore Grand Prix, and here it is, the race results. And yeah, Mbappe finished 4, and there were just 8 finishers. Of these 14 starters, maybe 15, we only get into the finish line, only 8 of us. Just slightly more than half, and yeah, here we are into the podium ceremony, watching Jovan celebrating his win. Meanwhile, I got second place. A little bit disappointed with that, and yeah, it could be worse. I shouldn't be completely mad about it because yeah, at least I got second place, but yeah, I could be happier if I got the race win, but yeah, it is what it is, and hope that report gets I don't know what to say, gets responded with with Bernie taking note with it and putting Jovan a penalty. We're seeing that Jovan and myself were the only ones who didn't get any time penalties. The Sky driver, just the Mantain driver, the Sky one, Mike, got the last place and was the last one who finished the race. Zodiac finished 7th, my teammate. Guerrero finished 6th. The last driver who finished in the lead lap, and well, Churrasco finished P5 and Bapti finished P4. I just said the top 3, and yeah, we're seeing that a lot of drivers got time penalties, and well, hope Jovan gets a post-race time penalty because that crash that Toscano sent to the league owner, I think it was a deserved one. So hope they get a penalty for Jovan and I could get promoted to the race win. So hope it happens, and see you guys in the next race. Well, maybe if not, that is it. That is season over for me, and I may be reserve driver for the next season. See you guys. Goodbye.